Hi, everybody. Happy March. Happy Wednesday, March 3rd. It may not be Wednesday, March 3rd when you're watching this, and that's okay. I'm really, really excited to be sharing with you today. I know that my practice and how I share my YouTube channel, my social media, all of that has been sort of like up in the air and not really clear on exactly what is Andrew doing, what's going on, how is he stepping forward and sharing. That's going to be probably a work in progress for a while, as I've got a lot of irons in the fire right now. I've also got the flower farm that I'm building, yayflowers.com if you want to sign up for the newsletter. And at the same time, I still love to show up for you. I still love to share via video. No, I'm not going to be able to do live streams until further notice, just because I don't want to grapple with the crappy internet signal out here, and it's just an exercise in frustration, and it doesn't allow me to create in the way that I really want to create. So I thought, you know what? Why not? I just hop on, share with you this month's post entitled Other People's Keys. If you've been paying attention, that's something that Amaro Cyrus was kind of hinting at for the past couple of weeks and or past month or two, and was a little phrase that had been dropped into some of the streams that I was sharing with you. So I'm really, really excited, number one, that this post came through, because it's really, really beautiful. There's a really lovely energy transmission for you. And I also love to continue to provide for you via video. I also love to continue to contribute to, what has essentially become a library. I've been documenting my spiritual journey since pretty much day one, or at least day one of my practice. And so I want to continue to flesh out this volume. I want to continue to create a library for you. So until such time as I have the signal strength to support a live stream without major glitches and hiccups, I thought, you know what? I'm going to hop on. I'm going to pre-record a video for you. No, it's not exactly the same as us being able to engage live, but at least you get to hear the post through my words and my voice. And I know for some of you, you just prefer to listen as opposed to read. And so why not offer this for you in the audio version as well? Think of this as the audiobook of the post that I'm sharing. Also, I want to let you know about two events coming up. Sunday, March 7th is the group Sphere Healing, which I really, really am loving. I did the first one last month on the 14th, on Valentine's Day, actually. And it was so wonderful and so beautiful. I just really, really so love the feel of group healing work. It is so deep and so loving and so supportive. It just really feels like a big hug from spirit. So that's Sunday, the 7th, coming up this coming weekend from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. ish Mountain Time. And then on the 14th, I am really, really excited about energy field mapping, which is a new workshop. I'm going to put the links for both of these in the description. This is a divine tool for self-exploration and self-healing. Energy field mapping is something that just sort of emerged over the past couple of weeks. It's something that's built on a practice that I have started a couple of years ago called art journaling. And I've shared with you a couple of the finished pieces here on the community tab. You'll see I share a photo every once in a while. And this is really what we're going to be working on in the energy field mapping. This one was one that I completed recently. This is another one that I completed recently. And if you stop and take a moment and sit with those images, you will feel a very powerful energy field coming from them, or energy transmission coming from them. And that's part of this process. So energy field mapping is essentially, we're going to go through a series of activations, breathing, mudras, while you download this geometry into your energy field. We flip on a couple of switches to enable you to communicate with yourself in this way. And essentially what we do is we connect your energy field with your conscious mind so that they can communicate with one another and essentially download information, delete old information, and essentially heal the physical self through this process. So we're going to go through it step by step. It's actually going to be a hands-on workshop. We're going to create a feminine field and a masculine field. Suffice it to say, it is next level. It is work that is beyond anything that I've ever offered before, and I am super, super jazzed about it. I also have an announcement coming up next week that I'm sorry, I'm just looking at my phone here. I'm getting ready to read you the post from my phone. But next week, there's going to be another announcement coming up, which I'm really, really excited about. So lots of stuff in the works. I know that me not showing up every month the way that I have doing a video has left some of you feeling bereft, and you've shared that with me, and I totally understand. And I just want to assure you that I'm still here. I'm still showing up, but my job is to be the voice for the energies that I work with. And if the energies that I work with and partner with are saying, hey, Andrew, it's time to move on, you've got other stuff to do, you've got to proceed, then that's what I have to do. My job, more than anything, is to show up. And that's really my first job, is really just to show up and see, okay, what's in here, what's going on. And if it doesn't vibe as correct with me on all levels, then it's not something I can continue to do. As much as I love showing up and doing the live streams, it's just not where I'm being guided. So until further notice, what I'm going to offer you is continue to write the posts and then hop on and read them for you. So I guess like story time with Amar Osiris, Andrew, and the Lighted Ones. You can also sign up for my newsletter, andrewmartin.energy. You will see a redo in my website. I have made some changes, which I'm really excited about. So you can check that out too. Anyway, here we go. Little sip of coffee first. This was posted on March 2nd, so just a couple, yesterday actually, other people's keys. And this was a message from the Lighted Ones. Your keys will only open your doors. Certainly there are many who can model for you how they found their keys. They can show you where they discovered their keys. They can even walk you through the process. However, none of their keys will open your doors. The attempt of using another's keys to open your doors is like going to the grocery store with your neighbor's list thinking that it will fulfill your needs. It won't. The experiences they have had are their own and are only an example of what is possible. What are these keys of which we speak? These keys can be thought of as themes which create a certain set of circumstances for a specific lifetime. Consider that as you prepared to emerge into this physical incarnation, you had already selected the list of experiences, some more probable than others, through which you would more deeply remember the truth of who and what you are. Your keys are all designed to unlock these truths for you through your lived experience. We will illuminate some examples, we will provide some examples to illuminate our meaning. Imagine a naturally artistic child growing up in an environment where their creative expression, their voice, is suppressed and rejected. This child has a vast universe within them waiting to be shared. They have an innate desire to liberate all within them that is longing to be created. Yet their immediate environment and the people that inhabit it continue to reiterate that children should be seen and not heard. They believe that creativity is a fool's errand and that the child should stop being so silly and get real. This child grows up continuing to exist at the exclusion of their artistic passions, finding acceptable ways to make their way through the world. The desire to express themselves artistically never goes away. It is merely stuffed, numbed, and ignored. This creates incredible tension within the human self. As that tension, created by willfully trying to obliterate the nudges from the eternal self, builds, their disconnection, pain, and suffering continues to grow. The child becomes an adult who is increasingly shut off and shut down. They begin to question all of their innate impulses, creating deep insecurity, simply because they continue to elevate the voices and opinions of others above their own. They effectively spend their whole life trying desperately to kill the passions they were born with, never realizing that the cause of their pain and suffering is born from trying to use another's set of keys to open their doors. In this case, the keys they were born with, the call to artistically express themselves, were discarded in an attempt to find a way of living that is acceptable to those they are trying to please. In this scenario, the creative individual experiences lack and suffering until they turn to face the voice they have long been trying to destroy. What this individual has the opportunity to realize is that for them, their creative self-expression is key to their success. The key also shows them that ultimately it is not their self-expression that destroys them, as those adults had implied. What destroys them is taking the truth of another and trying to make it their own. Another example here using a similar hypothetical situation. Imagine an artistic child who is allowed to express themselves. Their talents and abilities are nurtured and allowed to flourish. Joy erupts from them whenever they express themselves. They are told over and over again how amazing they are. They light up whenever they are on stage and are rewarded time and again by praise and compliments from others. At some point, they and those around them become increasingly dependent on having an enthusiastic audience in order to feel validated and seen. They are brought up in an environment that places high value on being appreciated externally. In truth, their creative gifts aren't valued so much as the payoff that they and those around them receive from the use of those gifts. Eventually, this individual conflates internal expression with external validation. If nobody is in the room excitedly praising them for their performance, do they exist? If what they create is not validated by another, does it still hold value? Rather than being encouraged to find their own sources of fulfillment and satisfaction, they spend their life desperately searching for an audience to confirm for them that they are worthy. What was once simply a joyful act becomes corrupted. Now the act of creating for the sake of creating becomes transactional. They slowly begin to create a reality where, unless they are praised externally for their work, they themselves are worthless. In this example, a key for them is to see that they are worthy because they are. That the only true acceptance is acceptance of self. What is key to their experience, sorry, I was confused by my own writing for a second. What is key to their experience here is to realize and allow the truth that successful divine expression is never contingent on whether or not other people find it acceptable. The only true requirement is that they themselves positively resonate with their choices and creations. These examples are simplistic by design. We simply wish to illustrate through the stark contrast present that nobody but you can ever divine what is key to your experience. However, your experience holds all of your keys. Life will reveal to you where your keys lie if you allow yourself to see them. How are you able to find these keys? We have a few points to share that may help orient you towards this discovery. What shows up in your life over and over? Are there circumstances in which you consistently find yourself? This may be pointing you to one of your keys. What do people continue to reflect back to you in your experience? Are people constantly telling you the same thing? When you stop and think about it, what commonalities seem to be present via the feedback you receive from your external life? The comments you consistently receive from other people may be a clue to discovering a key. Do you find yourself repeatedly reaching the same dead end in your life? Do your attempts to create or shift your reality bring you to the same stopping point again and again? Pay attention to the circumstances you often find yourself in. This may be highlighting a key for you. When your thoughts turn to daydreaming or imagining a different or better life for yourself and the world at large, what details show up time and again? Do you find yourself consistently returning to the same idyllic visions and dreams for your life? No doubt there are seeds of truth there that can help you uncover your keys. Any life lived is essentially an adventure created by you for you in order to discover the keys or truths that you have hidden for yourself. It is through the living of your life that these keys are discovered. Generally speaking, this is not an academic exercise. There are two basic requirements for this journey of discovery. First, you must be curious. Curious about what else is possible. Curious about what you don't see. Curious about why you want the things you say you want. Curious about who told you to want them. Curious about where you have been wrong. Curious about where you have tried to avoid yourself. Curious about what you have rejected within yourself. Second, you must be willing to face yourself with love, willing to be vulnerable, willing to feel emotions that may be deeply uncomfortable, willing to show up for yourself no matter how challenging it is, willing to accept that the model of unconditional love and infinite compassion must first begin with how you treat yourself. Willing to accept that everything you have and will experience was at some level a choice made by you. Perhaps what you have seen as your deepest trauma also holds the seeds of your grandest joy. Perhaps what you have seen as the pinnacle of your success pales in comparison to what you really came here to do. We invite you now to take a few moments for us to offer you energies and frequencies calibrated to support you in the discovery of the clarity you seek. Please close your eyes and begin to breathe slowly and deeply. Settle in and allow yourself to find a place of connection. Only a few moments of focused breathing are required to bring you into resonance with yourself. Once you have found the thread of connection, even if you're not 100% sure you have, simply place your left hand across your heart center and continue to breathe. Feel the energy from your hand connecting and merging with the energy of your heart. Become aware of the warm and soothing energy that emanates from this spot. Stay here for a few moments and breathe. Allow the heart energy to expand as big as it wants to. When you are ready, move all of your awareness and focus to your heart and simply state, "Heart, please reveal to me one of my keys for this lifetime. I am ready to know the deepest desires of my heart and soul in a way that I've not yet known them. I ask that this insight and information be revealed to me in the most graceful way possible, and so it is. Thank you." Stay here as long as you need. You might receive insight immediately, you might not. It might be a fully fleshed out message. It might be just a glimpse. It might be a feeling or a word or an image. It might feel like nothing at all. The only requirement is that you trust that you have gotten what you need and that the rest will be revealed in the right way in the right time. We leave you in love, the lighted ones. Thanks for watching. Have a happy, happy March. I love you.